Astraea's Light and the Children of Hope, an original fairy tale by Barbie Sommars. Once upon a time, in a world divided by generations of war and fear, there lived a mighty leader named BiBi. He had once been a boy filled with hope, but the weight of his people's suffering had transformed him. His skin was cracked and hardened like ancient bark, his eyes red and wild with the paranoia of a man who had seen too many battles. His appearance reflected the internal war he fought daily, driven by the conviction to defend his people. His voice boomed as he declared, "This is not just a war between tribes, but between good and evil. We are the blessed, and they are the cursed." His mind had become a battlefield where shadows held threats and children carried the promise of future vengeance. He was caught in a cycle he felt powerless to escape. The crowds cheered, but behind their pride lay a more profound fear, a fear that BiBi's war had grown too vast, too brutal. Yet BiBi remained resolute. Beside BiBi stood his loyal brother-in-arms Brutus from across the sea. Brutus, a towering figure of iron and steel, had fought by BiBi's side for years. His body was a strange blend of man and machine. His human eye could no longer distinguish between right and wrong, or even right from left. "Has he lost his mind?" people whispered. "Can he see, or is he blind?" For Brutus, the war had become automatic, a duty to be fulfilled without question, no matter what his people or other allies thought. He marched beside BiBi, bound by promises and history, losing more of his humanity with each step. The world beyond the battlefield watched, in sorrow, as innocence perished and hope for peace dimmed. "Oh, the humanity!" voices cried out. "Evil minds that plot destruction," they protested. "Sorcerers of death's construction," they accused. And yet the war spread. From a faraway star, beyond the crescent moon, Astraea watched. She was a fairy of great wisdom and age, her silver hair crowned with a delicate olive branch, a symbol of peace. Astraea, a fairy of 4,000 years, had lived long enough to witness humanity's brightest moments and its darkest horrors. She's seen countless conflicts where power, fear, and hatred turned people against one another again and again. She knows how grief travels in waves, reaching distant shores, stirring even those who know neither the faces nor names of those who no longer breathe life. Do you feel it? She closed her eyes, and her thoughts drifted back to a time long past to two brothers, Ishmael and Isaac. "I remember them," Astraea whispered to herself. "They were children of the same father, Abraham, bound by blood and love, not by borders or hate." She could still see the two boys laughing, unaware of the wars that would one day rage between their descendants. They have forgotten what they once knew. But Astraea had not forgotten. She saw the children of this generation caught in the crossfire, their futures buried under the rubble of ancient feuds. Yet she also saw hope in their eyes. Astraea called out in song, Her voice drifted through the air like a shimmering thread weaving its way into the hearts of the innocent and open, reaching the children as if it came not from the air, but from deep within their own souls, calling them gently to her. They followed, drawn by a sense of belonging that felt older than time. She led them to a quiet place, far from the sounds of war. The children, innocent and untainted by their leader's hatred, looked at Astraea with trust. In her hands, she held a glowing, sacred mushroom. "This is no ordinary mushroom," she told them. "It is a key, a guide that will show you what you have lost and must remember." They touched the mushroom one by one, and as they did, they were taken into a shared vision. In the vision, they saw Ishmael and Isaac standing side by side, their hands clasped in brotherly love. The land around them was lush and green, not torn by war. The children felt a warmth, a connection, something deep in their souls. They realized they were all part of the same family, descendants of the same father 150 generations before. BiBi and Brutus were drawn into the vision as well. At first they resisted. "We will fight until we achieve victory," BiBi said. But as the vision unfolded, they saw the faces of the children, the innocence caught in the crossfire, and doubt flickered in their hearts. The lines between reality and the vision blurred. At first, BiBi and Brutus felt only the pull on their minds, a faint tugging at the edges of consciousness. But soon their bodies followed. The firmness of the land beneath their feet felt real, as if they had been physically transported into the vision. The walls between spirit and body dissolved, and the total weight of war bore down on them like never before. They heard a voice, seemingly emanating from the mushroom, say, "Lay down your arms." The words echoed through the air, reverberating across lands and seas, a call so clear and mighty that the whole world felt its power. Brutus, too, was moved. For the first time he wondered whether this unquestioning loyalty had led him astray. "I need someone to show me the things in life that I can't find. I can't see the things that make true happiness. I must be blind." Astraea stood before the children, her wings shimmering with soft light. "Ishmael and Isaac were brothers, and you too are brothers and sisters," she said. BiBi looked at Astraea, his eyes still hardened by years of battle. "I will not go gently into that good night. I will fight until the enemies of my people are no more." Astraea shook her head. She thought to herself, must the world live in the shadow of atomic fear? Can they win the fight for peace, or will they disappear? She paused, her gaze meeting BiBi's. "You and your people know this suffering, do you not? It is a sorrow that has shaped you, left scars upon your souls. In the great cycles of history, I have seen the oppressed rise, but their triumph turned hollow when they embraced the same forces that once crushed them. What if your people's true strength lay in remembering that all lives and quality of life carry value? To harm another is to harm a piece of one's own soul. I have watched as battles grew fiercer because leaders call upon their brothers in arms for strength. I see Brutus standing beside you, and across the land, your enemies too call upon allies bound by their own fear and vengeance. Only love will save you now. The mushroom cloud that threatens to destroy your world can only be undone by the sacred mushroom of unity and healing. In that moment, faint cracks appeared across BiBi's bark-like skin, splintering the armor that had protected him for so long. A warm glow emerged. The children watched, sensing the change as the ancient bark around his heart slowly began to fall away. He looked at the children standing side by side, their hands clasped in peace. For the first time, he saw they just wanted to live. They are the future, he thought. Brutus too felt the change. He knelt beside the children, his iron armor rattling as he did. "There is no victory in war, only in peace," he said softly. And so, under the watchful eyes of Astraea, the call for peace spread, not as a directive from one leader to another, but as a shift in the hearts of all people and the remembrance of brotherly love. The children of hope will lead the way. They must be brave, or the children of today are the children of the grave. From the river to the sea, let love reign supreme. Peace be with you.